What's going on, nation, and welcome to the first video in my new Versus series. Now, the goal of this series is to compare exercises for you guys to help you figure out which ones you should be putting in your workouts based on what your goal is. The point of this series is to also help you guys understand proper mechanics of each exercise and get a better understanding of what muscles are involved as well. So if you're really pumped for this series, be sure to hit that like button, and I want you guys to leave comments down in the comment section below of exercises you'd like me to compare in future videos. Now let's get started. The two exercises we're going to compare today are the Dumbbell Bicep Curl and the Dumbbell Hammer Curl. Now these are both very effective exercises in building muscle, but if you could only pick one to have in your bicep routine, which one would you pick? Well, before we get into that, the first thing we need to do is understand how the biceps work. Now the biceps is a two-headed muscle that lies between your shoulder and your forearm, and it originates on the coracoid process of your scapula. So most of you guys know the scapula can easily be seen from the back right here. Well, there's actually a point that sticks out on it right here, and that's where the muscle originates. And it inserts in the radial tuberosity, which is right through here, which is beneath the neck of your radius. And what it does is it helps with forearm flexion, which is this, and it also helps you to be able to supinate your forearm. So for those of you guys who don't know, this is supination and this is pronation. Now let's take a look at the dumbbell bicep curl first. Now you might see people in the gym start this exercise with their hand already in a semi-supinated position, which is palms facing in. Now you just learned that one of the functions of your biceps is to supinate your forearm. So if you're starting in a semi-supinated position and not turning until you get here, from here to here, you're wasting all of this movement where you could be targeting your biceps harder by starting in a supinated position. Now I want you guys to just get out of your seat right now and stand up. You stand like this all day long with your hands facing in because it's the easiest way for your body to stand using the less energy. Now just stand up straight and turn both of your hands out. You're going to feel your biceps activate, and that's why you want to start this exercise in a supinated position and maintain that throughout the entire range of motion. So let me grab a dumbbell real quick. So when doing this exercise, there are some key things you want to keep in mind to perform it properly to maximize the amount of effort you're placing on your biceps. So, hand in a supinated position, and then as you do the curl, you want to keep your elbow in one spot, so right in front of your hips. Bring the dumbbell all the way up, and bring it all the way back down. You don't want to do this, or anything else that looks like anything besides elbow in one spot, all the way up, and all the way down. And if you've never focused on keeping your elbow in one position before, you're going to feel the difference right away as you do your negative, trying to hold your elbow in front of your hips. A lot more bicep activation. Now, a lot of people also like to say that you take tension out of the exercise if you go all the way to the top, and you take tension out of the exercise if you go all the way to the bottom. And that's just BS. Any range of motion that you do not train in, you will always be weaker in. And you just learned that while your hand is in the supinated position, there is tension on your bicep. So going all the way down to the bottom after each repetition, there's still tension on your bicep as long as your hand is supinated. Now as far as going all the way to the top to your shoulder, yeah, you might be able to sit here for a little while holding the weight. I can understand that, but what you need to understand is you break down the most muscle tissue in the negative portion of the movement. So if you curl all the way up, now you have a longer range of motion to control that weight on the way down. If you're going only up to here and only down to there, you're removing a huge amount of range of motion from the negative, which is where you're breaking down the most muscle tissue, so you're really shortchanging yourself on the exercise. Now let's talk about the Dumbbell Hammer Curl. Now in the Dumbbell Hammer Curl, you're still activating your biceps brachii, which is your biceps. However, in this movement, those muscles are really mostly working as a synergistic muscle groups, which means they are being activated throughout the movement, but mainly to help other muscles do more of the work, which in this case is going to be your brachioradialis, which is the muscle that runs up and down your forearm, and the brachialis, which is the muscle that's located deep in your upper arm right here, which is actually a muscle that when you target it and it grows, it can help increase your bicep peak. Now for this exercise, you will be starting with your hand in that semi-supinated position with your palms facing in. Now the reason why you do that with this exercise is because in this position, that is where your brachioradialis is strongest. So you really be able to target this muscle when doing this movement with your palm facing in. Now to perform the exercise, what you're going to do is keep your elbow in one position. So you're going to follow the same exact steps you with the bicep curl. The only difference is your palm is now facing in. So bring your dumbbell all the way up to your shoulder. Keep your elbow in one position. Bring it all the way back down just like this. And again, guys, keep that elbow in one spot. Control the weight on the way up. Go all the way to the top and control that negative, because that is where you break down the most amount of muscle fiber to get the most growth out of any exercise. So if you had to pick just one exercise to use to build big biceps, which one would you choose? Well, I personally would use the dumbbell bicep curl because that exercise mainly focuses on the bicep brachii. Now, if your goal is to build overall big arms and you want to have an aesthetic look, I'm sure many of you have drawn the conclusion that you would need to involve a variation of both exercises, because while the dumbbell bicep curl works the biceps, the hammer curl is going to focus more on the brachioradialis and the brachialis. So having both in your workout can be very beneficial if you're going for that bodybuilder aesthetic look. And if you guys want to add any of these exercises to your next arm workout, try adding 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions and only taking a 60-second rest period in between each set. Now I do have one final tip for you guys, and I'm going to be extremely blunt because I know there's a lot of newbies watching my videos, and you might go to the gym and see some big jackass go over to the dumbbell rack and grab some heavy dumbbells and then start doing this. These are 85-pound dumbbells, and I can just throw them up all day long just like this. And you know, you might grow some muscle. You're definitely going to feel a pump because every single muscle in your upper body is being activated in order to swing these things. But how much more muscle could you build if you actually felt every single muscle fiber rip and tear throughout the entire range of motion because you focused on proper form? Now, some of us might have a tendency to swing just as a natural habit, and an easy way to break that habit is to do these exercises seated. So the goal here is for you to really focus on that mind-muscle connection, because by focusing on that mind-muscle connection and focusing on activating your biceps as much as you possibly can throughout the entire range of motion is going to help you guys get results faster. So for the hammer curl, sit up straight just like this, keep your core tight, and just focus on moving your arms up and down and keeping your elbows in one position just like this. And the same thing for the bicep curl. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And I guarantee you that if you were to grab 30-pound dumbbells and do it just like this, you're going to feel a lot more muscle damage than you would grabbing the 85s and doing the swing motion, which is kind of funny to look at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And remember, if you want to see more exercises being compared, be sure to hit that like button and leave those comments down in the comment section below. And for those of you looking for a full 12-week program to build muscle and strength, comes complete with PDF downloads, workout calendars, photos, and videos, be sure to check out my shredded 12-week transformation challenge, and I'll post that link down in the info section below for you guys as well. So hope you have a great day, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.